interesting temperatures and tough, rocky surfaces are just part of the challenge which is the Acropolis Rally, round 7 of the World Rally Championship. This historic event has been running for 48 years and marks the halfway point in the 2002 season. Run on the Greek mainland around 2 hours northwest of the capital Athens, the rally is based in the seaside town of Itaea, with the stages in the nearby mountains and a single service park for all 3 days at Parnassos. On the last round in Argentina, Ford's Carlos Sainz took the honours, despite finishing behind 2 Peugeots. First, Marcus Grönholm was disqualified after team personnel infringed a 1 kilometre exclusion zone. When Richard Burns was then also excluded for having an underweight flywheel, Sainz could take the win.
Maybe this time I was not deserving, but other times, as I said, I have it in my hand and I lost it just by bad luck in the last moment. So sometimes luck goes in one direction, sometimes in another direction.
Tommy Mäkinen's Rally Argentina had a very different ending. This massive accident on the final day cruelly robbed him of any chance of victory.
We were a little bit ahead already on that stage. Unfortunately, some little mistake on very high speed, and so it can happen so quickly and so easily when you push more than 100%.
So as the championship reaches the halfway point, this is how the driver series looks. Grönholm, Burns and Mäkinen took no points from South America, while Sainz is now equal third thanks to that win. The 1995 world champion Colin McRae is one of those who've still to get their campaign started, while the manufacturers' table shows Peugeot have an enormous lead, despite those double exclusions in Argentina. Colin McRae knows he has to win soon if he's to play any part in the championship battle, and he starts as favourite in Greece after 4 wins from the last 6 rallies here.
We need serious points out the next 2, yeah, and then obviously it would be nice if everyone else had problems and then we could be right back up there, but we certainly need to score good points, yeah.
Who knows, maybe divine intervention will help Ford turn their fortunes around. They'll need all the help they can get to stop the Peugeot steamroller, although the team have a new car in Greece, so they're very cautious.
I think this is going to be the toughest test for the car, because we've had 2 quite rough rallies in Cyprus and Argentina, but I think this Acropolis always remains the roughest of the World Championship apart from Kenya.
Championship leader Grönholm, meanwhile, has said he plans to take things a little easier for the next 2 rallies. Subaru are upbeat about their chances. The car, their Pirelli tyres and their drivers are a tough combination.
Is it a rally that suits your driving style, do you feel?
Well, I like many of the rallies, but still this is the one I've done so well on every year, so I think we have the possibility here, that's for sure.
Citroën are only contesting 7 events this year, but Greece is one of them, and the French team won't be happy unless they finish on the podium.
It's the first time we make a rally with a WRC on gravel, so I think my feeling is good on the test, but I want to know what is really the level from the other driver, and I don't know for the moment.
Of the 3 other teams, Mitsubishi have Alistair McRae and Martin Delacourt fighting for much needed points. Hyundai, 4-time world champion Johan Häkkinen once again joins Freddie Leutzmann on charts, while Skoda also have 3 cars, Kenneth Eriksson, Tony Gardemeister and Stig Blomqvist. The ceremonial start at Greece's National Garden, the Zappeion in Athens, was only the curtain raiser. Day 1 would see 6 stages to the west of Mount Parnassos, and the temperatures were forecast to be in the 80s. Together with the rocky roads, it certainly wouldn't be a gentle start to the rally.
Well, here we have a road typical of what's going to be used this weekend on the Greek rally. This road was actually used in the late 80s, early 90s, and it's been used many times. As you can see, the whole road is covered in rocks, ranging from the small sort of razor sharp rocks which you get here, which are usually good for getting a puncture, down to the hard rocks which are set into the road, which never move or come out, but as more cars go over it, they get more exposed and increase the risk of getting a puncture. Then if you look on the outside and inside of the corners, you get these bigger rocks, much bigger rocks which have been pushed to the side, and it goes without saying that if you cut this corner just by a couple of widths of a wheel, then you're going to get a puncture, or at the very worst you're going to take the wheel off.
Stage 1 was the first of the rally's 16 and would be a typical Acropolis test. 24 kilometres of twists and turns, a long climb uphill and then down again into the valley. The virtual spectator overview of the stage can give a great idea of where it goes and how flowing the road is, But what it doesn't show is the road surface, those thousands of razor-sharp rocks Phil Mills was telling us about. First to go looking for those stones was Marcus Grönholm. The rule change this year, which means the top 15 run in reverse order, only applies to days 2 and 3. On day 1, the cars run in championship order. So the Peugeot of Grönholm and co-driver Timo Räikkönen was the road sweeper, cleaning a line through the loose top surface for the others to follow.
Vasen nopea. Ja vasen eri yli nykyään 5. Vasen nopea ja oikein nopea.
So that was the benchmark, the target for the others to attack. The reigning world champions Richard Burns and Robert Reid had the benefit of 3 cars running ahead of them, but were 6 seconds slower than their teammates. Maybe Grönholm's promise to take things easy was meant to apply to the next 2 rallies.
Titans 20 and flat left. 100, flat right plus in, straight 80 braking, fast left plus the fast left, tightens, 30 left plus in, 20, straight crest 40, easy right, tightens maybe, do easy right minus long, 220.
Tommy Mäkinen was 5th quickest on the stage, a good start, but it was clear that the conditions were helping those running further back. Armin Schwarz's Hyundai set exactly the same time.
Pitkä koikeus, 9. 3, 2.
In the other Subaru, Peter Solberg had high hopes that this would be the rally which would see his first victory. That bid for victory, though, got off to a shaky start. Out of sight of our cameras, he spun and lost well over a minute.
I got a half spin into a corner. I hit the bump inside and then I couldn't start, and then the engine stopped. I couldn't start it again and we lost 1.5 minutes or something, I think.
Carlos Sainz and Colin McRae didn't have the strong start many had predicted, with McRae 4th quickest and Sainz only 9th. The Scot dominated the Cyprus rally in April, though 2 big accidents on the final day denied him victory. But stage 1 in Greece saw him over 14 seconds off the pace.
Into 6 left tightens and 5 left minus tightens.
0.2 of a second faster than McRae's Ford was the Peugeot of Rovan Pera, who was in turn less than a second behind Grönholm's time. Giving the Ford team something to smile about though was Marco Martin. Helped by the cleaning road, the Estonian was nearly 14 seconds quicker than Grönholm, despite the failure of a brake problem.
Opens to 6.
Citroën, however, weren't so happy. They had hopes for both Thomas Rodstrom and Sebastian Loeb, but the young Frenchman had suspension problems and then brake failure. He was nearly 30 seconds off the pace, while the Swede was slower still.
Sebastian, have you got a problem?
Yes, we had a problem with the brakes at the end of the stage. On 3 or 4 kilometers, the pedal was going down and we are looking what it is.
Loeb isn't one of the 4 men we've chosen for the virtual spectator parallel racing comparison. That hardly matters. On this occasion, Sainz, Burns and Mäkinen are all overshadowed by Marco Martin. You don't often get the chance to see what an advantage of 20 seconds looks like on a rally stage, but this is one of those chances. So this was the first leaderboard of the rally. Marco Martin the leader, with Grönholm, Rovan Pera, McRae, Mäkinen and Schwarz all covered by 19 seconds or so. Burns led the remainder of the top 12 places, with Toshi Arai in the third of the Subarus in 10th place. Stage 2, with an idea of the problems caused by all the loose gravel. On stage 1, however, Grönholm had shown that he hadn't been too bothered by running first on the road. This time he was 7th fastest, losing around 10 seconds. But it was clear from the onboard camera that the 2000 world champion was having to use all his skills to keep the car on the road, not lose too much time.
Miinus on tää ja vasen eri. 7 oikein helppo. Saattaa oikein helppo sumpuu. 7 oikein hidas. Toista hidas.
Still kicking himself for his spin on stage 1, Petter Solberg fared much better on 2. For a time it seemed the Norwegian and his Welsh co-driver Phil Mills were on course to set the fastest time. Another driver with a Welshman alongside him is Colin McRae, but despite Mickey Grist's calm voice reciting the pace notes, the Focus was just 12th fastest. Precious seconds lost when McRae was distracted by running in Solberg's dust.
And left tightens to 2+. And 6 right. Into 6 right over crest. Into slow 4 right. Opens.
It was then left to Marco Martin and Michael Park to defend Ford honours.
Hairpin left. 30 to right hair.
Despite a puncture, the pair only lost around 4 seconds, and so still led the rally. But the sensations of stage 2 were the Hyundais. For so long they played a supporting role to the likes of Ford, Subaru and Peugeot. But this time Armin Schwarz knew that the clearing roads favoured them, and so there was no better time to attack. Solberg's time, quickest so far, is in the bottom right of your screen.
50 right for Schwarz, minus. 50 tight and 3 short, finish. 150. Left 5 stop.
But there was more to come. With Schwarz now up in second place, along came his Belgian colleague, Freddy Loix.
Je rijdt naar voren en wij zitten rechts en wordt 50. Rechts 120 kort licht couperen. 120 kort licht couperen en 50. Flying finish. Ja.
So Hyundais were now second and third. Loix exactly a second slower on the stage than Schwarz. The only other driver who looked like getting anywhere near the Korean cars was
Max left 20 bad right. Minus Titan, Max left 20 bad right. 30. Caution. Hairpin left plus, keep cool. Hairpin left plus. It will be a good time anyway. 20 right. 50, fast right plus, open and Titan medium plus. Fast right plus, open and Titan medium plus. 80. Max left 100. 11.51, well done.
Rudstrom the stage winner then, although he was another who picked up a puncture on the stage.
Colin, 6th position after 2 stages, happy?
Yeah, and I mean, okay, the position doesn't really matter. It's the gap to the leader, and it's a bit, but it's not too bad. We've had a bit of a problem with some brakes, and then caught Petter's dust a bit in the first one. So there's a reason for being where we are.
Where did you get that speed from? Why so quick from the start?
I don't know, the plan was to go quick from the start, and to be honest, the first stage, really, everything worked. We went wide only in one corner and everything else was perfect, so that maybe explains why we were so fast.
It was very clean, and we went flat out, a little bit the big attack, and it was good. We didn't make any mistake, and still had some good tires for the second stage, so everything together gave me a good time.
Great result also for the team. It's the first gravel stage win for this car in Citroën.
Yes, that's right. It's a very good feeling, especially for me. It was last year here was the last gravel rally, and I retired after only 6 stages. So it feels like a newcomer sometimes.
Despite comments from the drivers that the stages on this year's Acropolis seem to be a lot smoother than usual, this shot of Marcus Grönholm on stage 3 confirms that there were still plenty of rocks.
8 ja oikein pitkä nopea, kirraa. Vasen pitkä eri miinus. 7 oikein tiukka kirraa.
This time, Burns was the quickest of the Peugeot drivers, second fastest, beating his teammate by a little under a second.
Right max 1690 left in long. 30. To flat right 170. Crest 80 left max. 80 grass okay.
Colin McRae was still in 6th place, despite losing precious seconds with a spin on stage 3.
into 6 right line.
So once again it was Martin who was the quickest of the 3 Ford drivers, and the Estonian still led the rally.
40, 6 right. 50, 6 right 20, 3 minus left long, bad camber. 100.
But behind the Focus, second place had changed hands. It was still a hill day, but it was now Freddie Locks, not Armin Schwarz. The Belgians had the fastest time on the stage. The gap between the top 2 was now exactly 12 seconds.
Freddie, a very good time in the last stage. You're catching Marco Martin.
Yeah, we still have a few seconds to go, but okay, I'm happy. The car was going very well.
The 25-kilometre Renghini stage, the rally's 4th, and the rocks were getting even bigger. It wasn't the road surface though which caused Grönholm to lose time, but a lapse in concentration.
8. Ja nyt oikein hidas ja vasen hidas suppu. Mene heti vasen hidas suppu.
The quickest Peugeot this time was driven by another Finn, Harry Rovanperä.
Oikein serpo. Oikein täysjarru vasen herrin pidä 3 oikein serpo. 6. Vasen serpo sisältä.
The fastest time was set by Marco Martin, his second stage win from 4, which meant that he and Michael Park extended their lead to over 26 seconds.
2 right. 2, 3 left, 30, short 2 right, junction 2 minus left.
Second quickest was Armin Schwarz, so he moved back ahead of Loix into second place once again, despite concerns over the accent suspension.
30, tight to 3, left 4, 100 left 3 to 4 minus, little tight set house. 30, left 3 to 4 short. 30, left 4 short minus, and right 3 to 4 short minus.
Freddie Loix and co-driver Sven Smits couldn't repeat their win on stage 3. 6th quickest, the pair dropped to 3rd once again, although Grönholm's spin meant he was now 10th, so no longer a threat to the pair. So after 4 of the day's 6 stages, Marco Martin led Armin Schwarz, with Freddie Loix 3rd, Rovanperä 4th, Burns 5th and Colin McRae 6th, those 6 covered by less than 50 seconds. Mäkinen and Rodstrom were tied for 7th, with an unhappy Grönholm now 57.5 seconds behind the leader.
Very slippery, and I was off the road. I spun a bit and I stalled the engine. I don't know, maybe half a minute.
Petter, some more problems for you this afternoon. What happened?
On the stage before, it was my fault. I think I just, lost the concentration. I was a little bit depressed after what's happened earlier today.
I saw the split time and we were doing quite well, and so I backed off just in case I'm going too fast, so maybe I backed off too much.
Armin, the engine doesn't sound too healthy. Any problems?
No, it's just the shocks are very, I don't know, understeer all the time and very bad traction.
But things would take a turn for the worse at service. Anxious faces suggest all isn't well with Schwarz's car, and as the German looks on helplessly, the clock turns red. He should already be on his way to the next stage. In the end, he leaves 2 minutes late and picks up a 20-second time penalty, thanks to problems with the car's water pump. Stage 5, and after Grönholm's spin, it was now the turn of another Finn to run into difficulties. This time it was Tommy Mäkinen's Subaru which lost time with power steering failure.
Nyt oikea eri, heti vasen eri plus tiukka kirraa sumppu. Ja oikea vasen 4, pirun pitkä K vasen miinus 100. Vasen. Joo. 4. Helppo vasen 5, pitkä paha vasen.
While Mäkinen dropped to 11th place, Solberg was languishing down in 21st after his third spin of the day. It had been a frustrating and disappointing first day for Petter, who'd had high hopes of bettering the second place he'd scored here 12 months ago. On that occasion, the only man ahead of Solberg was Colin McRae, but this year McRae was just one of 20 who bettered the Subaru driver. Second on stage 5, the Scot had climbed to third overall, helped by the misfortunes of Gronholm, Schwarz and Mäkinen. Fastest on the stage yet again was McRae's young teammate Marco Martin. His third stage victory helped increase his lead to nearly 36 seconds, to the delight of the Estonian fans who travelled to Greece. Hyundai might have seen Schwarz drop to 5th, but Leutz was still keeping her own hopes alive. Third on stage 5, Freddie was still second overall, now the meat in a Ford Focus stage. Stage 6 was a rerun of the day's opener, the 24.4-kilometre Pavliani test. Carlos Sainz had a mixed day, but the second quickest time on stage 6 helped him to end the day in 5th place. Tommy Mankin's day, however, was about to go in the other direction. A lack of power steering and then brake failure meant Mäkinen was fighting the car, and a wheel was ripped off by a large rock. Despite this exhausting trip to recover the wheel, retirement was almost inevitable.
We lost brakes a few kilometers before this place, and just when I brake down here, there was only rear brakes and a little hole, and that little hole just threw the wheel away.
On the roughest, twistiest stages of the year, you know, it's hard enough just to stay on the road. I have no idea what might have happened. We'll find out when we can get proper contact with Tommy.
So once again, all eyes were on Solberg to score points for Subaru. This time there were no repeats of the spins which had cost so much time, and he was fastest on the stage, despite this
narrow, 6 rights, long, tightened. To slow, 30, caution, keep left and right of a crest, to 6 left, opens extra long, to slow, narrow shot, 5 right.
For the second stage in a row, Colin McRae was second quickest, so he'll start day 2 in 3rd place. Fastest and 4th overall, and Roman Perro will lead the Peugeot Challenge into the second day. Marco Martin, though, is the leader tonight, despite only being 3rd quickest on stage 6. The road conditions had clearly helped those running further back, but even so, it had been a terrific performance by Martin. It's been a great day too for Freddie Leutz, despite this spin.
Come on.
We're not used to seeing a Hyundai in the podium places, so there were some happy faces awaiting Leitz's return to service in Ipsos. In theory, the top 15 running in reverse order tomorrow should be a further help, but time will tell. So this is how things stand at the end of the first day. There are some unfamiliar names at the head of the leaderboard, thanks to all the road sweeping going on, but Marco Martin and Freddie Leutz still deserve their places. However, 2 more days and 10 more gruelling stages remain, so anything could still happen.
Very satisfied with 3rd at the end of day 1.
Yeah, it's a good position now. Okay, still almost a minute behind Marco, but very close to Freddie now.
Are you surprised to be 2nd at the end of day 1?
Yes, we are surprised, yes, because it's a very good result for us.
It's been pretty amazing to stay, that we managed to get such a big gap to everybody else. But I mean, everything worked really well. The car handled it perfectly, no problems, very reliable, so everything worked, no mistakes.
Who knows what will happen tomorrow, but from day one in Greece, good night.